thinking out there when you're out there?
I was just trying to remember the words.
Well, I guess that's what makes music the great American game it is. Hey, can we take a look at that again in slow-mo? Let's run it back in slow-mo, all right? Poetry in motion. I'm curious about one thing. How did you develop that distinctive style of holding the index finger and the thumb together like that?
Well, I realized that if I didn't, I would drop my pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, another example of grace under pressure. One other question here. When were you first aware that you were close to the world's record?
What world's record is that?
Honey, you are so modest. You did that number in 2 minutes and 42 seconds, and that's just 3/5 of a second off the world's record for that song set in '73 by Merle Haggard.
I had no idea.
Well, Jeffy, you know, records are made to be broken.
Not my records, they're made to be sold.
That's cute. Well, more proof of why they call him champ. You know, folks, when I wind up my usual sports show, I always close with a catchy little phrase, if you can't play sports, be one. Well, tonight, I think I only have to change one word of that phrase. If you can't play music, be one.
Chris Christopherson. John, I wanted to come back out at this point in the show to remind the people out there of one highlight in Johnny Cash's career that you might be a little reluctant to discuss.
Oh, really? Dare I ask what it might be?
It's not one of those horror stories of the old days. No, it was the 1969 Country Music Association Awards. And I got to say, Hoss, you cleaned the decks on that one.
Over number 6, this is your Johnny Cash and June Carter. Would you believe? One of my best friends, a guy I done my first tour with, Mr. Johnny Cash.
Male vocalist of the year, Johnny Cash.
A boy named Sue.
Johnny Cash.
After that night, John, I didn't think the CMA had anything left to give you, but they do. And I can't tell you how I feel about being honored to present it to you. So I want to read it to you now. It's the Country Music Association salutes Johnny Cash on the 25th anniversary of a distinguished career in country music. For a quarter of a century, he has been a dominant force in promoting country music around the world and has served as an effective international ambassador for the entire industry. Signed, Chairman Tom Collins and President Ralph Peer II.
Thank you.
Now a favor for me, John.
What's that?
Did you sing that song that caused so much commotion that year and all those awards?
I'll be glad to if you do something for me.
What's that?
Take us back to June Carter and tell her to hold it for me while I do the song.
Well, my brother left home when I was 3. Didn't leave very much for my mom and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that my daddy ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I'll tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But it made me a vow to the moon and stars I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that give me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old old saloon on a street of mud, and there at a table